It was 1977 when Elvis Presley finally left the building at the age of 42. The blue suede shoe-wearing, hip-shaking jailhouse rockin' legend died in his Graceland home on the throne. The automotive industry, and especially Cadillac dealerships, mourned because other than music, cheeseburgers, and taking care of business, cars were his favourite love. From European bubble cars to American muscle cars, driving was always on his mind. His success in the music and movie industry enabled him to indulge in his passion. So with a little less conversation and a little more action, let's look at the King's car collection. His first car was a 1952 Lincoln Zephyr that his father Vernon gifted to him. Elvis almost certainly said, "I thank you very much." However, it was a 1941 Lincoln that was the first car that King purchased out of his own pocket. It was cheap, unreliable, and rumour has it he spent more time pushing it than driving. The 1954 pink Cadillac was the first of many he purchased. It was second-hand, and he used it to transport his band, the Blue Moon Boys, around the southern states. Elvis described it as the most beautiful car he'd ever seen in an interview. He stated that he parked it outside a hotel the day he got it and stayed up all night just looking at it. The next day, it caught fire and burnt up on the road. In all reality though, he had the car for around 3 months when a brake lining caught fire and up she went. A case of burning love. He headed straight to the Cadillac dealership and ordered a brand new Fleetwood. Blue with a black roof, but had it painted Elvis rose pink and gifted it to his mother, Gladys, even though she had no license and couldn't drive. It was 1956. He was in Houston, Texas, and had just scored his first of many Billboard #1s with the Heartbreak Hotel. His attention turned to shopping for cars. He had picked out a white Cadillac Eldorado when he approached the salesman with his sideburns, coiffed hair and blue suede shoes. He was dismissed as a time waster. Big mistake. Elvis left the building. He spotted a fellow washing cars and asked him to accompany him back into the dealership and confronted the manager. Purchased the Eldorado and insisted that the commission be paid to the car washer, as he was the only person that had treated him with respect. He then sent the car to the car customizer Jimmy Sanders, smashed a handful of grapes on the fender and asked for it to be the colour. German aircraft manufacturer Messerschmitt were forbidden from making airplanes after the Second World War. They were approached by an engineer, Fritz Fend, about making a 3-wheeled bubble car. The desperate company agreed to this ludicrous idea, and the result was the Cabernet-Roller KR200. It proved a great success, with over 40,000 being produced over the next decade, one of them finding its way over to Memphis and to Elvis. He was tempted to return to sender, but instead swapped it with Bernard Lansky, owner of the menswear shop, for a large shopping spree. Lansky had the Messerschmitt from 1957 up until his death in 2004. 1958, and Elvis was drafted to the US Army and sent to a base in Germany. He went looking for a VW Beetle, but soon came to his senses and purchased a BMW 507. Only 254 of the stunning roadsters were built. As a result, they are a cult classic and highly sought after. Elvis asked BMW to replace the 507's engine with a lightweight V8 and had it repainted from white to red. He liked the car so much he had it shipped back to the States once his military service was over. Private Presley was not your normal soldier, and when he wasn't cruising the Autobahn in his BMW 507, he was being chauffeured to official engagements in his Mark V Lincoln Continental limousine. There are only 83 of the V8 monsters produced, and Elvin would have paid a whopping $10,200 for it. After his military service was concluded and back in Memphis, it was a 1962 Ford Thunderbird. Apparently, it was the wire wheels that sealed the deal in the purchase. His first Rolls-Royce, a 1963 Phantom, was ordered left-hand drive, then sent to James Young, coach builder, where he had a telephone, bloor-punked Klon radio, Firestone white wool tyres, electric windows, air conditioning, and a microphone on top of an armrest containing a writing pad, mirror, clothes brush, and a cabinet with decanter and glasses. 5 years later, he had it auctioned off for charity. A pair of Mercedes 600s, one for his LA mansion and one he kept at Graceland in Memphis, were next, showcasing both incredible engineering and magnificent styling. Fitted with air suspension, a 6.3-litre V8, power steering, air conditioning, and curtains, were worthy for the king, or a king. In 1974, he purchased a second-hand De Tomaso Pantera, which in essence was the first mid-engine mass-produced sports car made in America. He purchased it for his girlfriend of the time, Linda Thompson. The Panther, as it was called, may have looked great, but the 330 horsepower V8 was plagued with mechanical faults and technical issues. The Pantera broke down one time too many for the king, whom pulled a handgun and shot at it. The last car Elvis ever drove, and one of his favourites, was the Stutz Blackhawk. They were the most expensive cars in the world, and the king owned 5 during the 70s, including the first off the line of 26 in 1971, the first year since the bankruptcy of the company in 1937. His favourite was the Series 3, due to the red leather interior and the gold-plated trim. In 1976, the king purchased a second-hand 1975 Ferrari Dino 308 GT4. Little is known as to how or why he purchased the mid-engined V8, but one theory is he bought it to drive home to Memphis from LA, and due to the extra pounds he had gained, never drove it again. The car is still on display at the Graceland Car Museum. The last car Elvis bought was a burgundy and silver Cadillac Seville with grey interior. This was one of approximately 200 Cadillacs that he purchased, including 32 in one morning, often giving them away at a whim. The Seville was unconvincing for the Cadillac purist, but Elvis was very fond of the car. His last ride was in a 1977 white Cadillac hearse. These are not all the cars that Elvis had, just a few. There are cars out there that potentially could have been Elvis-owned cars. The information is hard to verify. Would it make them more valuable? To some people, definitely. Drop your thoughts and comments down below. From Copperhead Customs, Thanks for watching.